Hello, everybody. Coming up on 1240 right now. I'm live broadcasting from home. Want to give you an update on the storm potential this afternoon and evening. It's unusually warm, and we've been looking at all the flooding and the severe weather back toward the west. Well, now we get a chance for some rain and some thunderstorms, which actually we need the rain for. And it looks like it's going to be about a 24-hour period of pretty soaking rain that could begin around 4 or 5 o'clock today and last until 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow. So let me know this is coming through loud and clear. Hope you and your family are having a great evening. Or afternoon, not quite evening yet. And let me know where you're watching from right now, and we'll get this conversation going. I want to show you the radar with a new look. I hope you appreciate the new look. Gives you warnings to the top of your screen and bottom of your screen, and also the outlook above my head right there as we are moving forward. I'll be watching Doppler as we move into the afternoon and evening hours here for some of this rain to move our way. And it is really heavy back through Atlanta. And moving into metro Atlanta right now is actually a really strong storm. This looks to be where the severe weather is probably going to be with this line, is Atlanta south. That said, as we move into southern parts of the upstate this afternoon and evening, of course, we are very warm. We're in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees for a high today. I can't rule out that some of this activity will be strong to severe, but the most likely areas are going to be farther south here. There is a tornado watch that has been posted for metro Atlanta, south and westbound, right here in this area. And you can see why. Doppler radar right here in Atlanta shows this squiggly line. Now, we showed you this on Monday. Anytime you see a squiggly type line, a little S shape like that, it tends to give us a threat for severe weather because part of that line is trying to outrun the other part of it. So yeah, this storm does have some interesting signatures with it that could indicate that we end up with a little bit of rotation. Right now, looking at it, let's look specifically at whether there's some rotation, this activity in Atlanta, because we need to watch out to see if some of that activity were to try to come our way. So, watching it closely, it doesn't look like it has too much of a bit of rotation with it. Certainly some parts of this line trying to outrun the other parts of it, but right now it looks to be mainly just a strong wind maker, which is why there is a severe thunderstorm warning heading into metro Atlanta area. It's got 60 miles per hour winds tagged with it, but it also has that tornado possible tag, and that's in Atlanta right now. So if you have friends or family in Atlanta, maybe give them a call, let them know what's going on, as this does have the shape and the making of a strong storm. Now, some of the technology we have here that's really cool with Doppler radar and other areas is that we can actually slice this storm and look at it in 3 dimensions with this, and gives us a look at how this storm is behaving at all layers of the atmosphere. And from what I'm seeing out of this storm right now, it does possess the potential of some strong winds. And I'm analyzing this to tell you that as we move into this afternoon and evening, we need to look out for what's happening in metro Atlanta. These aren't terribly tall thunderstorms, but they do have the potential for some heavy rain, and from what I can see, some gusty winds as part of this line were to extrude out ahead of the other part of the line. So when it kinks out like you see it right in here on this version of the radar, and then looking at it in 3 dimensions right here, this part of it toward the bottom, that would be where the winds will be the gustiest and the strongest in this. So moving into the rest of this evening, we're going to have to watch that closely. We could see some strong thunderstorms out of that this afternoon, and certainly some thunder and lightning will be possible as we move into the afternoon and the evening hours here. So we've got to watch it, and simply put, there is a threat for severe weather this afternoon and evening, and right now that looks to be greatest over Atlanta, south and westbound. Watching areas like Anderson, Lawrence, Greenwood, Abbeville counties. Those would be some areas that later on today, as this line moves off toward the east, could produce some strong thunderstorms. Brand new computer model times it out for us. This one just refreshed. It is the high resolution rapid refresh model. It shows some rain possible really at any given time, but I think the bulk of this line, slow moving I might add, will move in toward 3 o'clock for areas like Pickens, Greenville, northern Greenville County, northern Oconee County. This would be in those areas here between 3 and 5 o'clock. Now that would continue off toward the east and spread in. And if you have plans this evening, it is going to be just pouring down. It's going to be absolutely just pouring across the area later on this afternoon and evening. And we will need to watch that closely as we move in to the afternoon and evening hours here, as there are a few warnings off toward the west that we just need to keep an eye on. And that'll be the case moving forward here. There are some watches, there are a few warnings, and some of those could creep into our area. The time frame of that would probably be between 5, 6, and 7 o'clock. Beyond that, it is just rain, and quite a bit of heavy rain. Now, could there be some thunder? Could there be some lightning? Certainly, and that would continue into tomorrow, as the high-resolution models here aren't really showing us drying up until we get into the second half of tomorrow. As far as instability is concerned today, do we have enough with it? Well, it does look like we do. I mean, we are quite warm, upper 70s to around 80 degrees. And as we move into this afternoon and evening, there's plenty of that fuel to give us some thunderstorms. How about the tornado ingredients? You know, the strong winds to me look to be the highest today as far as a threat. And even that, as you saw from the Storm Prediction Center outlook, it's a low threat across our area. So we can't rule out a thunderstorm. It would be isolated if we do. The greater threat is really right now Atlanta southbound. That said, some of these ingredients, I look for 2s, 3s, and 4s. You know, we get a few of them to move our way, 1s and 2s, but the ingredients for that, not really off the charts. What I do see us getting is possibly quite a bit of lightning and some thunder. Now, do the kids run into your room? Maybe your dogs? Well, me too. And I could see that being a possibility later on tonight, as we do have lightning in the forecast, as it could be rumbling and bumbling. Good sleeping weather if you ask me, but I'm a meteorologist, and that's good sleeping weather to me. Not quite severe. Could we get an isolated severe storm? Sure. But right now, some thunder and lightning would be the main threat moving into this afternoon and evening. And that would be some lightning. I mean, some of that lightning could be 3, 4, 5 a.m. tomorrow, even through tomorrow morning. You see the lightning density could actually go up in some locations according to this European model here. But once we get past that, it looks like it may take until the second half of the day. In fact, it looks like it may be pouring up until about 3, 4, 5 o'clock tomorrow. I mean, this European model doesn't really dry the area out until 3 o'clock tomorrow. So this could be about a 24-hour time frame of rain. And all said and done, looks like we could get approximately 1.5 inches of rain. Some areas could have 2 inches of rain. We'll be looking out for that. And I mean, this is honestly probably exactly what we needed in some of these areas, was just a good soaking rain that would come down and give us some pouring rain in the area to help out with the wildfire threat. Not to mention, we're quite dry. I mean, we're in a moderate drought in many areas of the upstate. So the fact that we're getting some good soaking rain over about 24 hours time frame allows it to soak in, allows it to kind of do its thing instead of just running right off. We need to talk about temperatures, though, because we top out today with highs in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. But moving forward here, it looks like a big cool down comes our way, to the fact that we may actually get a frost and a freeze in many locations. Tomorrow, temperatures hold steady in the upper 60s to maybe 70 degrees. But look at the second half of the day. This would be 6 p.m. It's 65 in Greenville, but it's 53 in Asheville. That tells me something is a changing and cooler air is coming in. And as we move deeper into the forecast here, Tuesday morning may catch you off guard. I mean, we're talking 38 in Asheville. We're talking 45, 46 degrees in Greenville and Spartanburg. And then moving deeper into the day, Tuesday's highs just don't get that warm. Now, it will be sunny, so the sun will help us out. 64 in Abbeville's not bad. Neither 62 in Clemson. But 58 in Greer, I mean, that's kind of cool. That's about 5, 6, 7 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year. And moving deeper into the forecast here, it's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. It looks to be the coldest for us this week. If you're going to protect your plants, that would be your night to do it. Of course, my family, apple growers in Western North Carolina, you got strawberries, peaches right now. Nobody wants to see a frost or a freeze, especially with some of the blooms out. 31's not terrible. If it gets to 28, that would be some of the early varieties. I know you folks love Pink Lady. That's my favorite apple variety. Some of those blooms are already out. So when you talk about the fact that it's going to be 31 degrees in itself isn't terrible, but if it gets down to 28, I mean, you're 3, 4 degrees away from a crop-killing frost. And I can tell you from Helene, a lot of the farmers like my family are praying for a great apple crop this year after so many are still, reeling for business after Helene's impacts some 6 months ago. So we've got to watch it. We got to watch the frost. From there, it looks like it does at least moderate. It never really gets warm this week. It's actually going to be below normal each day into next weekend. So it looks to be below normal in the rain department and the temperature department. Here we are Thursday, highs are back to the mid to upper 60s. And then going into next weekend, early indications are Friday and a Saturday, another little shot of colder air moves our way. Let's look at that. This would be Saturday morning. We're at 36 in Asheville, 45 in Greenville. Saturday afternoon and evening gets quite chilly. We'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s in the mountains, and looks like as we go into Sunday, highs are back to some more moderate levels at the low to mid 60s. So it does look like it gets quite chilly going into the second half of that day. So what do you folks got to say? Let's get the chat going here. Thank you for watching. And as always, I really appreciate you following here as we keep you posted. We got Debbie watching from Duncan, South Carolina. Hello, Debbie. Let me know if there's any questions I can help you guys answer as we map out the next 24 hours of active weather. Looks like we're getting some good rain. We need it. And then moving forward, the rest of the week, we will see more moderate weather. It's just going to be kind of cold mornings, warm afternoons, but doesn't at least bring us a whole lot of volatile weather. Now, it's certainly quite chilly. Thank you, Carol. Campabella's in the house. Weatherman Fox. Jonah, hi. Hope you're doing well. We got Pickens in the house. Hello, Michelle. Amber's watching in Pickens. Got Tanya and Campobello. Thank you for watching. Mountville, South Carolina. Will it be raining in Greenville tomorrow? It looks like it will be through about 3 o'clock. We got Toccoa in the house, so it'll be safe to sleep tonight. Jasmine, yes, it will be. Any kind of severe weather we get would likely be late this afternoon, early in the evening hours. And, of course, we'll be watching live Super Doppler 4 very closely for you. Hello from southwestern Virginia. Hi, Jonah. What does Liberty look like tomorrow? Liberty looks to be rainy in the morning and then clearing out in the afternoon hours. We got Pickens, Seneca, Columbus, Sunset, Travelers Rest, Seneca, Chesney, New Zion, Greenwood. Baseball tournaments happening. ETA for Simpsonville. Rhonda, the baseball fields. Looks like 3, 4, 5 o'clock would be the time frame of some rain arriving. You got a couple of hours. Frost is coming week. Elaine, yes, looks like Wednesday morning. Where Shoals, Belton in the house. Roebuck's watching right now. Thank you guys as we're watching all that's going on right now across the area in Union. Nicole's watching on YouTube. Thank you, Nicole. If you will, and if you're new to this channel, we would really appreciate it if you would go ahead, like, subscribe, comment where you're watching from. Follow this page if you don't already. So if we get alerts, if we get warnings that come across the area, we will let you know. And right now there is a tornado watch that has been posted back through Metro Atlanta, and this area is under a severe thunderstorm warning. And in this warning, it's got the tornado tag possible. So that basically means this storm is capable of producing a tornado, but it is not yet. It is not yet rotating such that would give us the threat for that severe weather. But as I turn on some of our velocity data, which is basically an x-ray of the storm, there's some broad level circulation in this. There's nothing that's really tightening up across Peachtree City, Atlanta metro area, but this is a strong storm moving in. It's got winds that are estimated to be 55 to 65 miles per hour, and the worst of that is bearing down right on metro Atlanta here within the next 30, 45 minutes. That said, there's some rain that's trying to push into the upstate, and as I turn on our Doppler and look closer to home, some of that rain is going to begin to move on in. Now, we got some showers. Those of you watching for baseball games, I heard Simpsonville's in the house watching some baseball weather right now. And of course, Clemson baseball, we're watching that closely. There's some rain to the south and west over Lake Hartwell right now that's going to try to push off toward the north and east. They could get into Clemson. Got some heavier rain over Livonia right now, moving into downtown Livonia, just south of I-85 and St. Mary's Heart Hospital there. And then you look toward Hart County, Anderson County. There's a few showers in 96, Greenwood right now getting some showers near Aspen Heights, Emerald Place, heading toward the lake. And then pushing up here toward Union County, Spartanburg County getting some showers. But this is all ahead of some storms that'll move on in later today. And yes, as you can see at the top and bottom of your screen, there is a tornado watch for Metro Atlanta. I can't rule out that some of our southern counties get grazed by a tornado watch, but right now, as you can see at the top part of the screen, the greatest risk for severe weather today would be Atlanta south and westbound. That outlook just came out. And when you look at the tornado risk specifically above my head, you can see it's in the lower category category for Atlanta and the medium category southwest of Atlanta. So we're watching all of it very closely here, and that looks to be the case as we move forward. So we sure appreciate you guys tuning in there and watching that possibility. So how about with the weather getting Greenville? Right now it looks to be some good old-fashioned heavy rain. I don't expect us to see severe weather. Paulette says the old saying says, don't plant before Easter. There's always that last frost. Yeah, it looks like Wednesday. That's usually my go-to for the Upstate. Don't do it before Easter. Now, that can be different each year because, Easter can be different timing depending on the year and what's going on, right? But simple rule is usually to follow, hey, don't plant anything before we get into that time frame of Easter for the Upstate. For the mountains, I've broadcast live at Justice Orchard talking about apples that are itty bitty, tiny apples at Mother's Day. I remember being out there for Mother's Day weekend and it getting down to 25, 26. That was our last crop killing kind of wipeout where a lot of Henderson County did not have a crop that year because of how bad the freeze and the frost was in some of those locations. So again, watching that closely, and that time frame would be Wednesday that we'd see the frost or the freeze coming in. Atlanta checking in. The Shepherd Center nurses say hi. Joey, hello to the Shepherd Center nurses at the Shepherd Center in Atlanta. Thank you guys for watching. You guys better batten down the hatches. Some heavy wind, some strong winds, 55 to 65 miles per hour moving your way in the next 30 minutes. We are talking about all of that. Jasmine says, I'm just so thankful to be on the low end of severe weather this time. I pray for people that were not so fortunate. But as someone who's terrified of storms, I'm finally going to be able to sleep tonight. Jasmine, I tell you what, seems like sleep has been fleeting here for me as well here lately. It's been a wild couple of weeks for the possibility of severe weather. Right now, it's a lower threat. It's something I'm watching, and of course, keeping an eye on our Doppler as we move forward here, and these temperatures that are rolling through as well. But yeah, there's a tornado watch for Atlanta southbound. But even here as we move into the hottest part of the day, this part of Atlanta, though under a risk for severe weather, looks like it's more straight line wind based than anything. And this warning does include some big time wind. This is coming on in pretty hard and heavy here across parts of Atlanta. And this line that is moving into Atlanta is going to be rolling through very quickly. So these areas of Atlanta will be seeing it here in the next 30, 45 minutes. And we got to watch that closely. So moving about 55 miles per hour. Let's see some towns, some areas it'll be in. This will be Atlanta area in about 16 minutes. Druid Hills. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law lived there. Talking 20, 25 minutes away. And then Decatur, North Druid Hills, North Decatur. And then Avondale Estates at about 25. It's a lot of people. Metro Atlanta is a very populated area. You got about 5.5 million people under a severe alert right now in Metro Atlanta. So this is pushing in, and I show you this to look closer at what could be coming toward the Upstate later today, as it looks like it's just going to be a good old-fashioned heavy rain for most of us, but areas southbound could get some spicy storms moving into this afternoon and evening hours. Greenwood, Abbeville, Lawrence, Elbert, Hart County could get on some of this activity. So I will keep you posted. My eyes are peeled on Live Super Doppler 4. And folks, as always, I sure appreciate you watching. If you don't already, good tips here. One, I'd appreciate if you'd share the chat. That button right there will let you share that with your family and friends. Let them know what's coming your way, and you can do that right now. Another thing, if you don't follow this page here at WYFF Forward, really appreciate it if you would. Anytime we're live with any kind of alerts, you'll be able to get that, whether it's the WYFF YouTube page, the WYFF Facebook page. A good tip to go ahead and download the WYFF4 mobile app. It is a great tool if you're out by the pool, if you're going to run some errands today, and you're out on the go and a warning is issued. You'll get it right there in your pocket on your phone, and you can tune back in on the TV when you get back to the house. So great tools to have at any time of the year, but especially here in severe weather season when things can turn sideways pretty quickly. But our team is dialed in on it, and we are committed to